The very best of luck. Well, she was once voted one of the most hated women in Britain, but that was nothing new for Jodie Marsh. She'd spent her childhood feeling like an outcast thanks to bullies who made her life a misery.
Now, in her mission to wipe out bullying, she's travelled to America to see how they are tackling some of the most extreme cases. Let's have a look. Well, Jodie joins us now. Obviously, very emotional for you.
Very.
And a subject matter that's extremely close to your heart, actually,
Yeah.
because bullying was something you experienced from the age of 13.
Yeah, young.
And even at that age, and as extreme as it got for you, it led you to sort of consider even taking your own life at that point.
Oh, God, I considered it loads of times, and I think the key message here is that as a young person at school, you think, and certainly I thought this, that you think there's nothing more out there. You think that this is your life. That's it. That's all you're ever going to have. You're never going to have friends. You're never going to be liked. You're always going to be picked on. And you just don't realise that there's a whole big wide world out there that actually is a lovely place, and that you will have friends and you will have a good life. And when you're in that moment thinking it's never going to get better, that's when you then will have the suicidal thoughts, because you think, what's the point in being here?
But you can understand that, can't you? You have been at home, you go to school, you dread going to school, you're given a hard time all day at school, you come home, and because of the world that we live in now, it is even possible for those bullies to get into your bedroom.
Into your home, exactly. It's much worse for
phone.
kids now. I feel so sorry for kids now, because when I was being bullied at school, we didn't have all these social networking sites. You know, when I went home, as you say, I was safe. That was my safe place. But kids don't have that now. It's, you know, it's on their phones, on their laptops, on their computers, and it's everywhere, and you can't escape it.
How do you... Sorry, Mum.
No, I was just going to say, so what would your advice be for somebody, say, if they were being bullied online, for example?
First things first, I always say block them. If somebody's even one tiny bit abusive online, block them. Because, number one, you are taking back the power. It's empowering to you. You're taking back the control. It's kind of a way of sticking two fingers up at the bullies and going, well, I've blocked you. So it's you having the control. But secondly, that bully can't see you anymore online, and you can't see them. And, yeah, they can set up another account, like they can keep setting up more and more accounts to try and get to you, but if you just block them every time, eventually they'll get bored and go away.
So in America, I mean, you travelled to America for the documentary to kind of look at how they tackle bullying over there, and do they have a different attitude towards it than we do here in the UK?
Well, in many places in America, it's actually illegal to bully, which was incredible to see, because I actually you see on the programme that I actually meet a woman who had just come from the court, and she'd had an injunction taken out against her son's bullies, and they were no longer allowed to come anywhere near her son, which was just amazing. You know, obviously we don't have anything like that here, although I have to point out that bullying is illegal. It's not called bullying, but under lots of different laws in this country, it's illegal. You've got
the
malicious... Well, I was going to say malicious communications, misuse of computers and technology, the harassment enactment, and, of course, any kind of physical assault is illegal anyway, whether it's ABH, GBH, common assault. So it's illegal on so many counts.
How difficult is it to pinpoint, unless it becomes very obvious, what bullying actually is? Where is the line between mucking about and joking and teasing?
I think, to be honest, if a person feels bullied, then they are bullied, because it's almost like, as you say, I think for teachers and parents it can be very difficult to say, well, is this just playground banter, and is it a lot of people call it character building, which I hate, but is it that, or is it something more than that? Now, if somebody feels absolutely distressed at what's being said to them, then I say it's bullying, because if you're incessantly saying to somebody you're ugly or you're fat or you're spotty or whatever it is that they're saying about them, if it's incessant and that person feels victimised, then it's bullying. So...
Well, the 70%, you say, of school shootings are by children who have been bullied in America.
This was so shocking to me as well. I probably, like half the world, would assume that school shooters must be lunatics, or they must have been born evil. You know, the sort of kid that can walk into a school and shoot 12 people, they must be evil. And it's so not the case. There's written proof in these children's diaries, in their school books, all over, and I've seen it with my own eyes, that these children were so incessantly bullied that was their last straw. It was where they flipped and saw red and went, I need to hurt somebody to make them pay for what they've done to me. And it's not right that they walk into a school and start shooting people, but it's like their last straw.
And there would have been other factors within their lives.
Which would have added up together.
And I truly believe the only reason we don't have school shootings here is that we don't have guns accessible in the way that they do in America. You know, if we had guns laying around on the table, I think we'd have school shootings here too.
One of the schools that you visited, and this was White Pine Middle School, and this was in Nevada, and there was a teacher there, the principal teacher, Aaron Hansen, and he's a bit of an inspiration to you, isn't he? Because the scheme that he runs through his school, he came to this school, and this school was doing very badly, and the first thing he said to the teachers was, I'm going to change the school. You're either in and you commit and you want to do this, or you're out.
Yeah.
And then, since making these changes, that school is now in the top 30 in the whole of the USA.
America,
Whole of America, top 30 school. So what's he doing then? What's his scheme?
He is incredible. I fell actually in love with him. I was like, if you weren't married, I would just snap you up now. You're my dream man. He has given all of the students the responsibility within the school. So he has said, right, you lot are in charge of all the bullying now. You're in charge of every bit of bullying that happens in this school, so it's up to you how you handle it. And what he's done in doing that, he's basically given them the responsibility of a staff member. So all of these students have had to step up and go, oh, well, we're not kids anymore. We're actually in charge. It's up to us. We need to make this school a better place. And it's actually worked. Now, I mean, obviously, it's a lot more intricate than that. It's not as simple as just going, right, you're in charge of bullying.
But in its simplest form, it's taking responsibility for your own actions, isn't it? Rather than having this culture of suing the school or having to go to the police or having to go to this... It's looking at yourself and taking responsibility for your own actions.
Yeah, and I truly believe if you treat children like adults, they will act like adults. You know, if you're going to constantly belittle children and punish them and shout at them and humiliate them, then they'll act like children.
Are there similar schemes in this country? Are we getting to grips with it as well?
There are now, because I've just put one in a school. That's my aim. I want every single school to have this scheme. Government policy on bullying is... I personally don't think it's enough. We need more. And the government policy used to be a huge, great document. Now it's a tiny little document. And most schools don't even know what to do with it. It's kind of put in a drawer and forgotten about. I want to put this scheme into every school. Now, the show that's on tomorrow night, that's the first part of a two-part series. In the second part, which follows a week later, I actually show on screen how to do this, how to change your school, how to turn it around. And every single parent, teacher, headmaster, headmistress can watch this and copy my techniques. So it's really important that everybody watches it.
And you are still, thankfully, in this great place of happiness and confidence.
Yeah, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I mean, that was really depressing, filming all of that.
But useful, but very useful.
But I'm doing it for a good reason. But personally, in my life, I'm the happiest I've ever been.
Why?
I'm just...
Is that the bodybuilding, the fitness?
It's everything, yeah. I think just growing up, maturing, bodybuilding, keeping fit.
Well, you described it. I mean, you've said of your life in the past that that you thought that it was puerile. I think you said vacuous, shallow, pointless, and now you have, you know, a real purpose in your life.
I mean, obviously, because the anti-bullying work I do, what you see on screen is not the whole of it. Like, I go to work in schools. My partner, Alex Holmes, anti-bullying partner, he and I work together in schools all the time off camera.
Well,
so...
the programme we're talking about is Bullied, Channel 5, Thursday at 10. Thank you, Jodie.
Thank you.
We're back after the news. We'll see you in a moment.